Hello everybody, my name is All Around Gamer and I'm back again coming at you with another commentary for you guys. First off, I'd like to apologize for this video being late. I know I had gotten caught up with school and a few other things, so I am very, very sorry about that. I will try to get back on schedule next week. And if I sound a little bit congested, my nose will not ventilate properly at this moment in time, so just ignore that and pay attention to the story. Now, this story actually happened to me on Wednesday, which was, I believe, the 16th? Something like that. Nope, that's wrong, 17th. 17th of September. Now, by law, my school is required to take note of anything quote-unquote threatening that a student might say. And my story for this happens in U.S. history, which is what I'm taking for my sophomore year history course. And in my class, we aren't currently doing, but at the time, we were having a debate. Loyalists and Patriots, Revolutionary War. Now what happened was, we were given a side, and we were given historical figures to research and find points for the debate. I happen to be a loyalist because I'm not a loyal person to the colonies. But, so obviously we have to go, we go to the library as a class, and we do our research, and then we go back, and then we do it again the next day. And it was the day of the debate, so it was the Tuesday, which was the 15th. Nope, the 16th. I'm really bad at dates. And one thing that you should know about me is if it comes to, like, acting of any sort, drama club, a video, the debate, I'm very enveloped in it. Along with, even with League of Legends, I'm very enveloped in that game. If you're a friend of mine and I've told you about League, you're definitely going to hear me screaming about it, because I am very vocal with this game. Not in the negative sense of vocal, but in the sense of I like to yell because it makes me feel good. Anyways, what ended up happening was we were in the middle of the debate, and someone said something along the lines of, alright, how should we settle this differently? And I said, let's settle it the way they used to back in the day. Let's shoot each other, revolution, survival of the fittest. Which is where this all went down. My teacher, unbeknownst to me, took note of that, sent it to the office, and I had no idea of it. So Wednesday rolls around, and this happened around second or third period, so it was chemistry. Now, I get into chem, I sit down, you get a few minutes before class starts to chat with your friends, and I'm sitting there and I'm going through notes. And what happened was, phone rings. Teacher goes over, picks it up. It's a short conversation. Hangs up, looks at me and says, "Hey Nick, they need you down in the office." And I'm like, "Okay, what did I do?" He's like, "I don't know. There's a Mrs. So-and-so to see you." And I was like, "Okay, do you know her?" "No, I have no idea who you're talking about." He's like, "All right, well, just go down anyways." I'm like, "All right, bye." So I start walking down the office, and it's not a relatively long walk. The wing where Chem is very close to the office. But as I get closer, I start getting like more and more nervous. It's like, oh god, what's gonna happen? Am I gonna get expelled? And I was told to go to guidance, but the guidance office is right next to the main office, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go into the main office because I can. So I walk into the main office. There's already some other student working with the main desk lady, and then there's some other chicks standing there, and she looks at me and says, "Are you Nick?" It's like, "Yep." She's like, "All right, could you come?" He's like, "Come with me." I'm like, "Okay, what did I do?" And she takes me down to another faculty's office. I forget if I don't think he's not a guidance teacher person. He's just faculty staff. But I get into his office, and we close the door, and I sit down, and I look at him, and it's like, yep, I did something wrong. And he looks at me, and he says, Nick, tell me about the comment you made in U.S. history. And I looked at him, and I was like, well, what did I say? And he had the paper, and he says, we should just do it like they used to. Shoot each other, revolution, survival of the fittest. And at first I was like, I don't remember saying that. Like, I honestly did not remember saying that. And I told him, it's like, I don't remember saying that. He's like, well, your teacher, Mrs. So-and-so, said that you did during a debate. And I was like, oh, okay, yep, I screwed up. And he's, I start telling him, it's like, dude, I didn't mean to, I'm sorry, I wasn't really thinking. It was the end of the day, and my brain is usually shut off by then. And, I was being truthful, my brain does not work at the end of the day. And he's like, man, you can't say this stuff because we don't know if you're serious or not. And I'm like, I understand, I know I messed up, and I know I should probably, keep it rolled back a bit. And he's like, yep, and, you know that we're required by law to do this. And I'm like, yeah, I know, man, I know. And then he brings up, he's like, and on top of this, your teacher also said that you have a fascination with historical weaponry. And I'm like, yeah, dude, it's amazing to see how far we've come from sticks and stones to, automatic rifles. And he's like, yeah, that's true. And we get into, this little discussion of it. And he says, I'm going to call down your teacher, and I'll have her talk with us as well. And I'm like, oh my god, you're doing this. Okay, yep, you're going to do this. And it takes her a minute to get down there, but it felt like an eternity. I was sitting there in the chair okay, come on, let's go. I want to go back to class now. What ends up happening, she gets into the room, and she is a very, very nice teacher. I'm happy to have her as my U.S. history teacher. So we get onto the discussion, and she says, yeah, I was 98% sure that you were joking, and I'm like, in my head, I'm like, really? 98? You give me a 98 out of 100? Could you at least give me a 99? Please? And I had to re-explain, I was wrapped up in the moment, I didn't mean it, I wasn't really thinking, and, I'm not gonna do it again, blah, 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 blah. And what ends up happening is she says, alright, but still, I'm required by law to do this, and I'm like, yeah, I know, I've heard it before. And we get this sorted out, she leaves. Now, the one lady who needed to see me says, alright, you can just come over to guidance with me to my office, and I'm like, are you kidding me? Obviously some of the stuff, actually most of the stuff I'm saying in my head. Actually, if I say I'm saying in my head, I am. In my head, I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. You drag me down here, sit me in this office for 20, 30 minutes, and then tell me we have to go over to your office? What? So we walk over to the guidance office. She sits me down in her office, and she starts telling me, she's like, you can't be doing this, everyone's paranoid, and we don't know if you're serious or not. And I'm sitting there thinking, you've got to be kidding me. I joke a lot. I don't even have the guts to shoot a person. Yeah, shooting a target is easy, because I know it's not going to harm anyone. But shooting a person, I don't even have the guts to do that. Real person, at least. So, she's telling me about this, and she says, we're gonna have to call your parents about it. And I'm sitting there like, okay, cool. Just waste their time. Nice. And no, this is at 9:30 in the morning. So, she gets my name and all that. It's not like I got a demerit or anything. I didn't get suspended, thank God. Or detention, thank God. But, I leave, and I come back to class, and my teacher's like, alright, we're doing this and this. And I'm like, awesome. And I sit down and I start working. Forget about it. I get home. 2 messages on the answering machine. One of them is a hang-up, which is very usual for us. The other one is the guidance teacher, the one who I'd met first. She said that she needed to talk to my parents and all this other great stuff. And I was, I'm sitting there and it's like, okay, my parents are either going to agree with me and say that it was stupid, excuse me, my throat's kind of dry, or they're just going to laugh at it. or even, scold me for it. So they don't get home till like 6-ish, somewhere around that time. And they listen to the message, and my dad says, you can't be doing this. You can't be doing this. You can't do that. Blah, blah, blah. People are paranoid. I'm like, I don't care. I know. I care. I've heard it before. And I go. So my mother gets on. We play the message back. First words out of her mouth after I told her the story, "This is stupid." And I'm like, I know. So then we got into like a good 20-minute talk about it. And my mom's like, I'll call them. And I'm like, oh God, no. Mom, if you call them, this is going to be bad. And my dad's like, no, I'll call them. It's like, okay, if Dad calls them, we'll be good. So basically, what I took from this was, everyone's paranoid, watch what you say. And we like to joke about it now that, if I go to school, my parents are like, oh, Nick, don't start a revolution. It's like, no, I won't, Mom. Don't you worry. But that's going to be it for me today, guys. If you enjoyed, always remember to hit that like button and tell me that you enjoy watching my videos. Make sure to add this to your favorites so I know that you guys will listen to it again to my soothing, sexy voice. Make sure you share it as well, because it really tells other people that, hey, you should watch this video, because it has a pretty good video quality content point. And make sure to comment so I can get feedback from you guys, because I always appreciate any feedback I can get. If you have a topic that you want me to talk about, you can throw it down in the comments below. I can look at it and I'll research the topic if need be, and I'll make a commentary out of it. And I'm running extremely low on gameplay, guys. I'm on my last couple gameplays. So I need you guys to really help me out. You can send your gameplay to my email. It's in the link below. You will see it, aag5@outlook.com. Follow me on Twitter. My Twitter handle will always be down there as usual. And you can come and follow me on Twitch, where I will now be live streaming some N64 gameplay for you guys. So check that out below. Make sure to follow me there. But this is All Around Gamer signing off. Until next week, I'll see you guys around.